Hey everybody, how's it going? Stephanie Aune, artist here in Concord, California. Thanks so much for stopping by. It's a chilly morning. I have my flannel on and my warm fuzzy slippers, and I'm still working on my first cup of coffee because I just rolled out of bed, and it's Halloween today. Happy Halloween. Not a huge, well, I used to love Halloween. I used to go, love to dress up and go out on the town, but I haven't done that since I've moved to California. Seems really sad. Anyway, this is the intro video to window paned frames, frame paned window options. I don't know what to call them, right? So basically, in this video I show you how to mark out and cut out the single frame, how to do the double frame, and how to do the triple frame. Okay, in the next video I'm going to show you 4 and 6. And what I'm trying to show you here is how to measure them out on your own so that you don't need a template, you know. And I'm not a pro mathematician by any means, and so, you know, I just kind of work through it. Most artists are not mathematicians, so if you have any need to comment on that, just kind of keep it to yourself and hit next. That'd be awesome, because I'm trying to help you out and show you the way that I work through my process. So, if you remember in my last altered book, I had a gemstone drop page. With the gemstone drop page, what I did was I constructed an inner frame, and I hung the gemstones from this frame. Not this frame, of course, because this one has wire. As you can see, it's pretty thick, you know. I've got a lot of construction in there. But once you have that piece that's constructed and you put it into your book, it gives you a way to glue it in an invisible manner, right? Nobody will be able to see all of that construction work. They'll still see some. I can't show you there, you know, because there's always going to have that thickness. But this way, you can put anything you want to in between those two frames, you know, in between each side. You could use pieces of vellum. This was what got me off on a massive complete squirrel tangent, which was wonderful. I was playing with Seth Apter's embossing powders and making really cool stuff. Anyway, so you can put vellum in between. You can put anything. A screen chicken wire. You could even use like a piece of burlap that you take some of the strings out of in the center. You could use muslin. You could use cheesecloth. You could use calico. You could use actual just papers. You know, you could stick papers in there. That would be really cool. You could suspend puzzle pieces. You could suspend dominoes. You could suspend, you know, on the 4-1, you could suspend hearts, diamonds, clubs, and spades. You know, do kind of a page of game. You can do so much. I mean, you could take a piece of vellum. Oh wait, that's on there. You know, and make inner pocket, right? With the image in there, you can sew around that, and then you could stick that in the center of those frames. You know, you have 2 sides, so you can hide anything in there that you want to. Or you could even take, did I say mica? Mica kind of I like on the outside because it has such a great texture, and but vellum I would put on the inside, you know. And you can stamp on vellum. You could use a permanent stamp and then take the opposite side, take your Sharpies and actually color in that stamp. That's always kind of a cool option too. There's so many different things you could do. You know, I mean, these are my price tags, but you know, and I make up I paint these guys, right? So you could even take something like this and suspend it in the center and have little things on the tags. You know, put a rivet in, and then you could suspend any charms from those that you wanted to. Your possibilities are completely endless, you know, only limited by you and what you want to come up with. Before I make this too much longer, I'll probably say goodbye. I do have other things that I would love to chat with you about, but it's just rambling. Had a crazy date a couple weeks ago. A guy decided that he was going to follow me to the next place. I was going to Joanne's, right? I had a 3-hour lunch date with this guy, and I still couldn't really decide if I liked him or not. I was in another town, and I was going to Joanne's. He's like, oh, I'll go with you. And I'm like, no. You don't take men to the craft store. Okay, this is where I start to allow all my ideas to go crazy. I can stand there in Joanne's and look at one item and just stare at it for a couple minutes. And what's happening up here is, oh, I could do this, 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 I could do this. And here I could just hear this guy going, da 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 da, you know, and it's just like, I just want to bond with the art, okay, product. You know, I want to figure out what I can make with something. So he decided to follow me to the craft store. I had said, no, the date's done. It's been 3 hours. I'm kind of exhausted. And I just want some Zen time at Joanne's. And so he followed me. So he ended up calling me before we left the restaurant parking lot. He sent me a text. Then he sent me a video of him standing outside of the place that I was at. He did. I didn't respond. I stayed in Joanne's, and I kind of stayed to the back so that if he came in, I could kind of duck around the aisles. I didn't hear from him for about an hour. Then he sends another text. And then he calls and leaves a message. Then he calls again and leaves a message. And this is all within the next hour. And another hour later, he's texting. He sends 2 texts. And, you know, at this point, I respond to him and I say, you know, while I have things in common with you, you really don't have anything in common with me. I think you're a great guy. I enjoyed our date, but I really don't think that, you know, we're a great fit. And I wish you all the best of luck. He came back and called me every name in the book, told me I was a player, told me I was the reason things were wrong with this site, that I was playing games with him, that it's like, buddy, we have talked on the phone once, and we had 1 3-hour date. I'm being pretty upfront with you by even just responding after your insanity for the last 3 hours. And frankly, I didn't quite know what to do when you're continually texting and when you're following me to the store. So yeah, he was still sending me messages at 4:30 in the morning and on the dating site. So of course I had to block him on both. The dating adventures, right? Right? So that was 2 weeks ago, and I haven't gone on a date since. I haven't even talked to anybody since because, dating's no fun. It's just not. I've been doing it long enough now to where I'm just like, I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to waste anybody's time. I don't want anybody to waste my time. So, anyways, that's my long drawn out story on that. Now I've added a couple minutes. I will put notes there so you can you know, skip over that story if you want to. Anyway. I hope you all have a happy and safe Halloween. If you have kids, may they have much joy. If you don't have kids and you can kind of hide out in your place like I do, I don't have to. My entrance is very hidden from the main entrance of the house. So I don't have to give out candy. But there's really not any kids in the neighborhood anyway, except for Miles of Smiles, and I'd love to give him something, but, you know, I'll give him a pack of peanuts at this time because I'm really not having much for sweets in the house at all. Working on that diet. Slowly. I'm just taking out food that has high sugar. What else do you know? Work has been incredibly stressful. When work is stressful, my creativity tanks. I am pushing through it and just trying to keep myself going in a forward motion. And if you would indulge me, I would actually like to read this excerpt from you. I ran across this the other day, Zen in the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. It is a book that I read when I was in high school or early college, and something I always loved. And we have a lot of book sales. It's the fall book sale season, that way. And I opened it up the other day and I came across this. Mountains should be climbed with as little effort as possible and without desire. The reality of your own nature should determine the speed. If you become restless, speed up. If you become winded, slow down. You climb the mountain in an equilibrium between restlessness and exhaustion. Then, when you're no longer thinking ahead, each footstep isn't just a means to an end, but a unique event in itself. This leaf has jagged edges. This rock looks loose. From this place, the snow is less visible, even though it's closer. These are things that you should notice anyway. To live only for some future goal is shallow. It's the sides of the mountain which sustain life, not the top. Here is where things grow. So, if any of you have been following me this summer, those of you that have been with me for a while know what I'm talking about. I have a tendency to go straight uphill. You know, I'm gonna do a website. I'm gonna create. I'm gonna make videos. I'm gonna do an Etsy store. I'm gonna do Amazon Associates. I'm gonna figure out how to do Instagram and Twitter. I'm gonna learn how to do a website. I'm gonna learn how to do videos. You know, and I'm still gonna create and learn while I'm creating. And then I'm gonna do shows. And then I've got to get this and I've got to do that. So I put myself on a trajectory that just wore me out. And I've taken a step back and trying to reassess and trying to figure out what's the most important goal. And, you know, I love the artwork that I've been creating. I'm truly very happy about that. You know, but it's more of taking the time. It doesn't have to be done this minute. And of course, my best people in my life tell me that. You know, Steph, it's okay, slow down, it's all right. And it's just, well, I've got to get this done. I've got to do this, I've got to do that. So that's why it resonated so well with me. But it also, to me, speaks of, you know, just trying to keep that forward momentum. And sometimes you need to slow down, and sometimes you'll speed up, and you have to do it at your pace. You don't compare yourself to anybody else while you're doing it. You create what you want to create when you want to create it. You know, and to enjoy the here and now, because that can be gone pretty quick. And I know that firsthand. I really do. But take the time to observe that which is around us. Thanks for listening to my ramble. You know, I'm sorry I kind of went off on a couple tangents there, but like I said, in the very beginning of this, you don't have to listen to me. Really, you don't. I'll let you know where you can skip to start the video. And preferably, just skip over if you don't like it. I really, you know, I'm here putting myself out, and unless you are also attempting to put yourself out there, harsh criticisms really just aren't anything that biker stuff is going to put up with. So, anyway, just to let you know, I don't have to be sweet when you're being a jerk. That's kind of all I'm getting to. Not that anybody really is. Truly, I love the people that I have conversations with. Yeah, I feel like I'm speaking with you guys, and you know who you are, and Yeah, thanks so much for being there. You make my quiet life less quiet, and you bring a smile to my face. And I would love for new people to subscribe. But please, come on, just hit the subscribe button. Help a girl out, all right? And share the video. The more that you share on your page or put it on a playlist on your page, YouTube really likes that, and that will increase the algorithm, and I will be seen more by more people. Come on, help a girl out. Comments, I love your comments. I really, truly do. They make me very happy. And trying to think, I think that's it. Sorry that it's such a long intro. There's just a few things I wanted to share, you know, just bits and pieces of my life. You know, I'm not just a pair of hands working at the table. You know, there's actually a person here, so. All right, you guys, have a great day. Stay safe. May your children be safe. May your families, you know, bring you love and happiness. And if you don't have that and it's just you alone in the world, like I am, well, I do have family too, but I don't live anywhere near them. You know, it's okay. It's all good. Let's make something pretty. All right. Have a good evening, afternoon, day. It's morning. All right. Bye. Hey, everybody. How's it going? StephanieAune here in Concord, California. My heater is on, and it's a cold morning this morning. I did go through and film how I made this this piece here. Yeah, that did be nice. So I wanted to make a little door. But it really didn't end up quite the way I wanted it to. And I ended up going off on a huge tangent and started making all these really cool things on vellum with Seth Apter's embossing powders. And aren't they just beautiful? Really cool textures. This one is one of my favorites. It's just like glass, and I love that one. The sparrows are very cool. It's just with stamps, embossing ink, and of course the great embossing powders that he has in this baked texture set. Which I doubt that I'll show you guys. I might show you the embossing portion of it. But this portion, honestly, I was so tired yesterday when I was making this that I don't think I need to subject you to that, honestly. And then another problem that I have while I'm doing this too is, you know, it's hard to show you how to make a frame without finishing the frame, and if I finish the frame, then I have to finish the pages, or you have to go back over it and redo your pages later. This was the first cup off the bottom of the pot, and it is so strong. Oh my god. Okay. So this went this way. It's kind of a cool flat page though, and there is definitely, well, things that I can do here to make a cool little latch, to make something fun under here. It's not a pure failure whatsoever. It's just not what I had originally thought of. So let's go on to the next page. I am going to show you just a straight frame real quick. I had also explained that I have made my double pages already. I've taken out my center signatures already to give me some more space, and I am doing repairs as I go, and I did repair on the inside here. The reason for it is this book is from 1908, I believe. It is not a first edition whatsoever. This must have been a very popular book, actually. And so the book is already prepped for the most part in the centers. I've left the backs free at this point in time. No, I don't know what I want to do in the backs. So, the reason why I like to take 2 pages and make a frame out of it is because then you can make an inner structure here. When you make an inner structure, then you can put anything you want to on the inside of that structure. I was going to hang something from this. So, yeah. Do I want to think about putting that in? I think it's pretty cool. Do I want to do... Might as well. Come hither, little one, and I'll whisper. No. What do I want to do, guys? Okay. I'm going to show you the simple frame first, right? And I don't think I'm going to totally finish the construction. I think that's what I'm going to do here. Where's my... I was just working so furiously. Of course, I don't have the lid on this. Jeepers. Last night was kind of crazy. So, I'm actually just going to follow along with... Well, let's get a little bit close to the edge, though. I'm just going to use my ruler page. Make a large frame. Actually, I could be going through both at the same time, and I probably should. And again, we're going to go with the width of the ruler to make this side. Oh. At this, O best beloved, the elephant's child. I came to my table this morning and it is just destroyed. Oh my gosh. I filmed for 2 hours last night and I don't know if I had anything productive come out of it, truly. Okay. Here's one side of your frame. So then you can put your innards that you would make two sides. Alright. And let's do the second side of the frame. What I'm just going to do here is I know what the measurements were, right? We know that it was my width of my ruler. The top of the words and the bottom of the words. Cold night last night. I'm gonna have to get on another blanket. I sleep pretty cold, honestly. But the heater's starting to get warm, and I know I grabbed the clicker. Here it is. Off. Don't go to cold. Oh, good noise. Good noise. How do you feel about being spanked again? Kipling does talk a lot about spanking in this book. This is like the 4th time I've seen it. There was one story where it was like this elephant went around and got spanked by everybody. Dude. Something not quite right about that. Okay. So these make excellent tags, right? We do not get rid of these centerpieces. And that is a perfect little frame. All right. So I will construct a piece of thin cardboard, preferably. And make something that will easily fit right inside of here. This was made for a different book. So of course it does not fit this frame. I could have cut it to fit this frame, but I just didn't know if I wanted to use it in here or not. I don't think so. I might. You know, there's no reason that says, you know, all I would have to do is, actually all I would have to do is cut it an extra ½ inch on each side. Here. And here. It's actually really kind of cool, isn't it? I don't want to assemble it though right now, because if you assemble when you don't have any backgrounds done, it's just not good. I do like how this coloring is mirroring this coloring. I do like how that's happening. So, you know, and you can also put whatever you want to in the center of your frame. You know, there's no limitations. You can put screen in there. You can put chicken wire in there. You can put the transparency. You know, this is what I got off on the tangent with, because I'm like, oh, I want to do that. I want to do that. Well, it looks very cool. But then, you know, it was like front or back, and then I wanted to do back to back, and then if I did back to back, then it just went crazy. So, that is how you make a simple frame, right? All right. Next, let's do a more complicated frame. So we got one window here. Let's do a second window here. What do we want this window to look like? Copy. I only have a couple minutes here, so I can't take very long to do this. Yesterday I started using millimeters because I'm like, is it just easier to use millimeters? I mean, really. I mean, the book is 6 inches tall, but it's just under 6 inches tall. That's 6 inches. So 8 would be our halfway mark, but 10 is also our halfway mark. Okay, well, we'll just do inches. All right. All right, all right, all right. If I could find one sharp utensil in here. See if this pen even has any goo left in it. Okay, so we're going to come 1 inch down. And our halfway point is here. We went 1 inch down there, 3.5 here. And let's just use our wording as our line up here. We're just going to do this easy. 1 inch to 3.5. Okay. 4. To 7. So we're making a double window pane. We lined it up with the text. Okay. Okay. So we're going to come 1 inch down, the text to the 3.5 mark, go to 4, go to 5, go down to 7. Do I like that lineup? It's kind of a large space in between those two windows, aren't they? And do I want to go that deep and leave that much at the side? I'm going to bring this up a ½ inch. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring this up a ½ inch to 1/4 inch. Let's do 1/4 inch. Let's bring this up to 3¼ here. Okay, bring that a 1/4 inch and bring this up to, is that right? And I'm actually going to drop it to, really can't. Yeah, I'm not liking that, am I? So let's just make it how I want it to be made. There are 2 different sized windows. That's okay. Made himself a cool new squishy mud cap whenever the sun was hot. Cute. Come here, be spanked for your insatiable curiosity. Is that satiable? Pooh, said the elfin child. I don't think you peoples know anything about spanking, but I do. I'll show you. Oh my God. Maybe that's why it was so popular. All the spanking. I mean, really, this thing has had a ton of reprints before 1908, and the book was published in 1908. Okay. Now this one, of course, is going to be much harder to make on the other side, which makes me wonder if I shouldn't just do it this way. Let's see here. I almost have a full ruler width here. Almost, not quite. So we do the full ruler width here. It's 3 millimeters. Oh, come on. It's 2 millimeters here, 2.5. 2. Kind of like the thought of giving it a little bit more space back there and not going so deep into the margin. That's, again, what I'm concerned about. So we're going to do both of these coming in. Not quite that far. Let's go 3 letters deep. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You know, there's no set rules here. You can do whatever you want to. It's your book. And just because I do it this way does not mean that you must do it your way. I'm just showing you all the different options of things that you can do with frame pages. Right? Now, 1, 2, 3 letters in. Take this, yeah. I want to bring it up a little bit more too. So I have no exact measurements on these whatsoever. Just remember that. No exact measurements. I think my windows are actually closer now than what they were. All right. So, if I look at this though, this one, I definitely went a ruler 1 inch. See, the 1 and the 1/8, that just doesn't work very well to measure that. Oh, and of course I can't measure it this way. See if I can get this book to shift at all. See, what's wrong here is that if I pull it too much, maybe I can get it. Just trying to get that spine to shift a bit. arm that's not quite a full width. We're going to push it just a little bit this way. Let's see, we were at the edge of the lettering on this side. That one's easy. Right at the edge of the lettering. Make sure you got your 90-degree angles here, and that'll help you make it tight. And this one we were right at the top of their words. Just gonna do a crooked. So now I could actually, oh, wow, oh, no, all right, it's catching up the ones underneath. God, it's so tempting to leave those tabs on. Okay, but anyways, that's how we make a two-frame page, and then you can put whatever you want to in the inside of there, right? Now, I can cut these guys off here, or I can kind of make cool little shutter doors that you can open and close. Cool. All right, so we learned the single frame, the double frame. I do want to do a 3-frame and 4-frame and a 6-frame. I don't know if we can do a 5. That'd be kind of crazy. All right, everybody, I am going to go get ready for work, and you know, hopefully you found that somewhat informative. All right, chat soon. Bye. Hello there. We're back again. I've got about 10 minutes, it looks like. So, showed you how to construct the 1 page, the 1 single frame, the 2 frames, and let's look at a 3-frame situation. Okay. All right, so, look at my quick measurements here. This one we did to the text. This one we did 3 lines in. It's 1.5 inches up. Okay, so to the text here. This was 3. I gotta take off my glasses. Can't see close up with my glasses. Okay, 3 letters in. Make sure we got a 90-degree angle. Make sure we're straight. Just gonna draw a straight line starting 1 inch. Okay, let's actually think about this real quick. Here's 8 inches. I want to do 3 boxes. Let's go 1.25 inches. 1.25 inches. Kind of like that. So this is 1.25 inches here, right? This is 1 3/4 inches here. We've got, oh, that's only 1/4 inch. Okay, let's go here. So that gives us 1.5 inches from here to here. 1.5 inches from here to here. And then we've got how much of a space in between? Too much space. Okay, so 1.5 inches here. 1.5 inches there. 1/2 inch space here. And 1/2 and 1 there. This is 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches. Should just be doing these millimeters. Okay, this is a 1/2. So 1/2. And then I think I did 1 inch from here. And 1.5 inches here. I like having, again, a little more space on the bottom. Okay, and we're going to take it to 3 letters in, so it's going to be like right in here. Okay. So, on this one, did we do straight ruler? We did a straight ruler, so let's just do a straight ruler again. All right, we're going to go 1 inch down. We're going to go 1.5 inches. 1/2 inch space, 1.5 inches, 1/2 inch space, 1.5 inches. Right? Make sure that your space marks match here. Right? Use your words as your line up spots, right? Three letters in, 3 letters in, all right? This will be interesting. I'm not leaving really any space for any images. But I'm kind of wanting a row of frames. Don't really know what I'm making right now. Can you tell? Alright, take your X-Acto. Yeah, remember it's only 1.5 inches. Don't go too far. 1.5 inches. Here. Let's go with this guy. Make sure you're lined up straight. Make sure you got your 90-degree angles. Go because I got some fat lines in there. It's always hard to tell with fat lines, and line up underneath the letters. Right. Underneath the letters, 90-degree angles. We're just doing visual prompts here. Let's just go under that line. That line. Visual. And visually look at that line, make sure that it's right. Cool. You know, I can put those back on later. I'm going to take those off for now. If I want doors or hinges later, I can do it, right? There's something that I'm wanting to create, I think, that has this flow of, so we're going three letters in, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 spaces. Looking and making sure all my angles are 90 degrees. So now I want to take off that right there because, you know, you got to make it all the same. And that would cause that other piece to fit too, right? Let's go back to that. I would not generally recommend to do it this way. You know, I can always go and clean these up later, of course. But for now, I might just leave those there. It's just kind of a tracker for me. Don't need to, I suppose. Just did it crooked. There will be things in there, and it will be covered by more pages, such, right? 1, 2, 3. Now, this doesn't line up with that because this, to too much lettering showing. Remember, these all went on the edge of the lettering. Okay. It's kind of cool. Alright, so we just need to pull this over 1 little millimeter here. 1/2 millimeter, 1/4 millimeter. Just to the edge of the text. Oh. Yeah, no, we weren't. This one was the width of the... Sorry, getting confused here. Hopefully my head's not in the middle of your picture the whole time. Okay. Alright, so I've got these all marked out, so this one should be pretty easy to mark out, right? With my time. Time is on my side. Which it isn't, it never is. Alright? Alright, so we went 1 inch down. One inch, 1.5 inches. 1/2 inch, 1.5 inches. 1/2 inch, 1.5 inches. 1.5 at the bottom. All right. One inch, 1.5 inches. 1/2 inch, 1.5 inches. 1/2 inch, 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches. Line it up. I don't know why we don't go to millimeters and metric. It's so much easier. Okay, so this one was just shy of a ruler width. On this side here, lined up with the words, and we can't really tell because the stupid ruler here. So we're gonna have to go right to. Well, let's see if I can get a bit better. Let's go to 20. Right there. Line it up with your lettering. You don't have a whole lot of things here to line it up with. Make sure you're making 90-degree angles. Okay. Let's find the lid. Find my cutter again. Need to find the lid. And 2, 3. 1, 2, so really the thing to remember is I am lining up all of these boxes and cuts, center cuts with each other. You know, rarely will people be doing so many frame pages in a row. I get that completely. Did I miss that one? And you know, it doesn't have to be exact. You don't need a template. Every book is different anyways. Why do you need a template? Just make it work. And we have a little bit of difference here. Let's see. Something happened in the translation, didn't it? But that's okay. Here, just fix it. Just fix it. Right? Now, obviously my measurement got a little off there, or I went to the upper line instead of the lower line. I'm using a Sharpie pen, you know. Sharpies leave a different kind of line. While I'm being careful, I'm not being hyper careful, so it doesn't surprise me that I've got this discrepancy. It is hard to get through these pieces of paper. Yep, there's the difference too, right? So when you flip it, this curve is making a difference, right? All right, so that's how you make 1, 2, and 3 frames. All right. Window frames, we'll call them, right? Making window frames. All right, and then I will do the next video doing 4 and 6. How about that? Might be best to split this up a little bit. Since y'all have attention spans of a 5-year-old. Actually, 5-year-olds are used to sitting in front of movies longer than we are. This isn't entertaining enough with a switch. So this will be interesting, huh? Kind of fun. Could do acetate, could do screen, could do a screen in one here. Something transparent, getting less transparent as we go, maybe? With mica on the 6th page. I always love the mica on the 6 pages. So of course my brain is just thinking about how to make this work and what to do with it. You know, what to do with it mostly. So I'm kind of sad. Oh, I could always tear this out of here, and I think I could split this apart or cut it out. I could cut it out and do something differently there. Who knows, right? Possibilities are endless. This is basically just showing you how to measure out and figure out how many windows you want. You know, how to find your own dimensions for things, which I think is highly important. This one's going to have a 4. It's going to go here, 1 inch down. Oh, we went 3 letters in, didn't we? And this one's right on the edge of the letters. Half inch in between. That's going to be the 4 window. Okay, it's got to come down, of course, a little bit more longer here to here. This will be maybe 3/4 of an inch here. This maybe be a 1/2 inch. So that's just how I kind of visualize what's going to happen next, you know. All right, I have to go. Got to get ready for work. Got to leave for work. Chat soon, everybody. Have a great day. You know, hopefully my day will be better than it was yesterday, and I hope your day is better than it was yesterday. That's kind of cool, huh?